Yeah, I'm here again. If you want to be successful trading Forex, here are 3 books that you must read. I'm going to be running them down in no time. As a Forex trader, you have to learn that reading is everything. Readers are leaders, as they always say, but this time around, if you read, you get to learn more, you get to earn more too as well. So that's why it's really important. You have to focus on these books that changed my life. I'm here to share them with you and the lessons I also took away and where I was when I read that and how that took a leap in my life entirely. All right, so stay from the beginning to the end. So the first book I want to be talking about here is The Reminiscence of a Stock Operator by Edwin Lefebvre. So this book, I read this book back in 2019. The first place I heard about this book, or I read a short version of, I listened to a short version of it, is Livermore Initiative. It's on YouTube here. You can just check him out. He's a UK-based Forex trader. He reviews Forex book, and I heard about the reminiscence of a stock operator. And this book is centered around Jesse Livermore. So Jesse Livermore is one of the most prominent traders that's ever lived, and is dated back to 1923. That's a long time ago. Yes, there are still so many things you can still learn from these guys, even though it's ages back, because trading is an amazing thing, because everything is just same pattern, similar. It can be repetitive if you check it out. It's always repetitive, and that's also to tell you that Forex has been, or trading has been, for decades, if not for a long time, if not for more than a decade. It's been for a very long time. All right. So Jesse Livermore is a trader. He is a fantastic trader, a phenomenal trader. He came in from a very poor background, and then he started trading, started learning how to speculate, started learning how to do normal trading the same way we do, and then he failed several times. I don't want to bore you guys with this story. I really want you guys to go read this book, all right? So I'm just going to be sharing some of the few tips, things that I learned from this book. I'm sure this will interest you to want to go read this book. Number 1, he said, investing is hard. People who look for easy money invariably pay for the privilege of proving conclusively that it cannot be found on this sordid earth. That's one principle that I learned the hard way too. For example, there are so many people that will call, oh, Jeff, I need to make some extra income. How do I do it? Or before then, they have already started dabbling in. They heard about Forex. They heard about how someone bought a car, how somebody traveled to Canada through Forex trading. And then now, they just heard about it and they just open their laptop. They start trading. They start looking for ways to invest. Most of the time, we all know this story. They lose their account. They blow their money. You even watching me right now, you know that you're also fall victim of this thing. Even people that are saying that Forex is a scam, this is how they got into this problem, because they didn't take time to actually invest in themselves, in knowledge, to learn. The second thing I learned from this book, The Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, is recognize who you truly are. You're either being a speculator, according to the book, or you're an investor. So he believes that speculators buy the trend, they follow the trend, but investors, they're actually in for the long haul. They are 2 different cats. In his words, he said, speculators buy the trend, investors are in for the long run. They're a different breed of cat. One reason that people lose money today is that they have lost sight of this distinction. They profess to have the long term in mind and yet cannot resist following where the hot money has led. This happens as a day-to-day trader. Each time you find out that some other people are scalpers, they are making more money, or day traders are making more money than you are at that particular time. As a swing trader, you tend to want to change from your swing trading to become a day trader or a scalper. So what this really recommends that you first know who you are before selecting the type of trader that you are. You could either be a scalper, day trader, swing trader. It doesn't make sense being a swing trader and you're bad mouthing or that type of trader. It's childish. It doesn't make sense. You can be a swing trader and be very good in your own lane, because everybody have where they are good at. Some people love their food hot, some love it cold. It doesn't make sense because I love my food hot and I'm bad mouthing those people who love it cold. So Jesse Livermore is also telling us that you first recognize who you are. If you love your food hot, stay hot. If you love your food cold, love your food cold and stay there. All right? So any one of them, in as much as you are making money, they completely work. And the next lesson I also learned from this is ignorance, fear, greed, and hope are the 4 deadly sins of trading. Now, what this simply means, we already know that emotions can take a toll on you if you don't have them controlled in Forex trading or in the financial world. For example, you wouldn't know you're a greedy person until you start trading. For example, I've encountered so many other people who'll be like, oh,
Jeff, I just want to be able to catch just $20 every day. I'm made for life. I'm okay. I'm never going to look forward to scale.
It's a lie. When they start trading, they're able to catch $25, $30, $50. There's always that greed in every human being. It's normal. It doesn't mean that you're just a greedy person and that makes you bad. No, it's normal. Our wants are insatiable. Once you have $20, you want to crave to have the next $40. You want to add even extra $20 to that $40 to make it $60. That's how it works. So one thing that is very crucial, what I've learned from this book, is learn to put a control to your ignorance, to your fear, to your greed, and to hope. Hope is what when you lose, you keep feeling that, oh, I always want to make more. You always keep hoping that market is going to reverse. You always keep hoping that you don't know when to say it's enough. So you have to learn to strike a balance on all these things. I hope these few lessons is just enough for you to just go read this book. All right. Now let's head straight to the next book. This next book is a very emotional book to me because personally I read it and it proved a point that no one else has ever been able to prove ever since these guys were in the trading. That's The Complete Total Trader by Michael Covell. So Michael Covell wrote about these people by Richard Dennis and Bill Eckhart. So Richard Dennis and Bill Eckhart are two very good friends, all right, from Wall Street. They are very successful guys. They are millionaires and they are doing really good. So they both had an argument about trading being nurtured or being in nature. So Williams was of the opinion that you can actually be nurtured as a trader. Whether you're a farmer, you're an engineer, or you're anything, or you're a day jobber, you can actually learn how to trade and be profitable. Whereas his friend was of the opposite opinion that no, you actually trading is natural. So I read this book back in 2018. So this book actually opened a very different insight of how I should be trading. It's a part of my strategy right now. It builds a very strong part of my psychology. So no matter what people tell me, Jeff, you are losing trader, you are that, you are this, I don't even listen to them because of this book. So this book is a must read if you must be a successful trader. Now here are some of the few lessons that I also learned from this book. Before I go to the few lessons, let me explain further. Richard Dennis and Bill Eckhart, they're two friends. So they went into the outside world. They put out an advert there and they were looking for 23 traders, novice traders. So they took some from a blackjack player. They took some there. They took a farmer. They took from different world, computer science and different world, just random people. And then they brought them all together. There are 23 people. And then they were funded $1 million each of their own personal money. So you already think, apart from the $23 million that they are investing in these guys, talk about the money money they put out there for advertisement, the money they put out there to house them, to feed everything. It was a lot of money that is invested into this experiment just to prove that trading is nurture and not nature. So at the end of the trading period, long story short, they were able to make about hundreds of millions in return by this novice trader. So at the end of the day, it was proven that trading is not actually nature. You are not born trader. You can actually be nurtured into trading. So I think for every trader out there that is right now struggling or thinking that, oh, trading is not for me, please go read that book. You're going to learn different trading behavior, character. You're going to learn the tears behind making money. So people cried at the end. Some of these guys were scared to place their first trade. Some were scared whenever they were losing money. Some of them were in perpetual fear to even place trade all through because this is $1 million. This is not like this story is not in the early 20s. It's been long. So $1 million was a lot of money for these guys to trade then. All right. So what does this suggest to you? That whatsoever phase you are, whatsoever field you are right now, how old you are, whatsoever old, it doesn't matter. They took people from different spheres of world. Some were old, some were young, some were working class age. This book proved a lot of things. Guys, you gotta read that book because I've also read that book, and I also watched some couple of trading series where they took novice traders to actually come and experiment whether trading is nurture or nature by Samuel Leach on YouTube. You guys go watch that series. At some point, I was emotional. There was a lady that was literally crying for her to press a buy and sell for the first time because she knew that how much is at stake. If she was wrong, how much she would be losing, how much would be costing the company. She was literally scared. For you to understand that trading is actually hard. This also confirms the first principle that I learned from Jesse Livermore, that investing is hard. So this is not to scare you, but this is just actually to prepare your mind, know where you are, and then you'll be able to further prove the point to yourself that you can actually be nurtured into trading. The last book I'm going to be recommending here that also changed my life is Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. This book single-handedly reviews all the myths that exist in the financial market. He exposed them one at a time. And then he also let you know that it is beyond the outcome or probabilities, thinking that things is going to work on your favor all the time. Instead, it makes you understand that there are probabilities in the market that it could work against you and it will also work in your favor, thereby increasing how it would work in your favor and then decreasing how, making it work less against you. This book is actually a must read for every forex trader out there, all right? Because it actually brings out how human psychology works, how normal human disposition work, and then fuse them together. And I mean, if you're able to read this book, trust me, you'll be able to understand why you are taking the losses that you're currently taking, why the wins after you make some profits, then you're also losing. Just take it. It also exposes one to risk and how to manage that. One thing about forex trading is you have to understand that first, acknowledge that there's risk in the financial markets. And then the next thing is learn to manage that risk. If you're able to do that, you'll be able to make a very tangible return in no time. So these are the things that these are the 3 books that have been able to change my life. Always know that reading is key, okay? Is key. It gives you an insight to learn from those people who have been there where you are right now. And it also lets you know how they were able to overcome those stages that you are currently in. Immediately I read this book, immediately I had a mind shift. My mindset changed. I knew that strategy was nothing. I knew that psychology was everything. And I also knew that managing risk was everything. Managing trading system is everything. So if you read this book, you'll be able to understand, best to understand. And I also learned that human emotion is everything. Learn to manage your own emotion and learn to play with other people's emotion. That's just everything about reading these books. Trust me, if you read that, you are never going to come back the same. If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button, because I know you definitely will like it, because no one will teach you, no one will tell you about this book except here. And because of that, smash the subscribe button right now and let's get the fire peeping. Watch other videos that might be popping up pretty soon. And then I'll see you guys on other of my channel.